And we're back. We are going to talk some MLB stuff. We're going to start off with the Rookie of the Year. Actually, let's first let's break character a little bit. Let's start off with Steven Matz. He's done for the year.
Sorry, Met fans.
Yeah, this Mets rotation's not working. Matt Harvey was bad, and you could blame the injury for that. I just think he's finally hit it to where he's predictable now. And Noah Syndergaard is hitting a rough patch. Bartolo Colon got lit up by the Marlins the other day.
Bartolo did not.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. But Matt's being done for the year does not help this team. Jesselman's been good, very good.
Jesselman has been better than anyone could have expected.
Yeah, and Lugo's been the wolf, has been down the middle. But Matt's being done cannot help this team.
Well, we'll get to that a little later about the Mets, the wild card race. But talking about the Mets, they traded Michael Fulmer to the Detroit Tigers, and he's probably the American League Rookie of the Year.
But how many pitchers? How many pitchers could you have on this Mets team before you literally have a 12-man rotation? They could have a 10-man rotation, and they could literally throw a different starter out every 10 nights and have a consistent.
The problem is they can't hit.
They cannot hit.
I mean, the other night, yes, they won like 17-0, and last night they won 12-1. But throughout this whole season, hitting has again been the problem with this team, just like every other year.
And without his Drupal Cabrera playing the way he has, they're nothing. They're nothing. That the team, they're lucky to be in the wild card. They're lucky to still be breathing in that wild card race.
And they probably will wind up making it. I'm gonna have to go with the Cardinals and the Mets at this point.
I don't think the Cardinals have been god awful lately.
The Giants end their year with the Dodgers.
I think they could beat the Dodgers. The Giants always gave trouble to the Dodgers. That rivalry, it's a good one.
Anything can go there. That's the point.
Yeah. Let's go to Rookie of the Year. You said Fulmer. I think it's Gary Sanchez. Fulmer's great. Fulmer's great. It's not really hard to see how good he is.
The thing is, Fulmer did it all year. He came up in late April. Gary, yes, the 20 home runs, 53 games. It's amazing. He's the fastest to do that in history. I get it. But he did not play enough games, in my opinion, to win this award. Yes, Willie McCovey won the award, but I feel like, not that we were live or anything, but I feel like that year you didn't have the talented player of Michael Fulmer to take the award away.
I don't, and I'm sure there was another talented player back then.
But with the numbers of Michael Fulmer?
I don't know, probably not. But let me say
he has become the best pitcher on the Detroit Tigers.
And who's the best catcher? Who is the best catcher in the American League now?
It probably is Gary Sanchez.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, if you put him in the National League, it'd be arguable with Real Muto and Buster Posey.
But catcher is such a weak position this year.
It is, but Gary Sanchez. If you're Gary Sanchez, if you're going to talk about a weak position, you have the elite. You have the people that are at the top floor, and Gary Sanchez is there. Buster Posey's there. Real Muto's breaking out with the Marlins.
And it took Gary Sanchez so long to come up because people argued about his fielding, how he wasn't ready. But he has as good as arm as anybody in the league already.
He Pudge Rodriguez even said he's very similar.
But he can throw lasers to second base already.
Yes,
and we've seen it.
And I think he's gonna fit. I think he's gonna fit in well. He's gonna replace Jorge Posada. He's gonna be better than Jorge Posada. I think it's going to be one of those classic Yankee catchers.
Well, anyone who's comparing him to Thurman Munson this early, I mean, it's a little bit too early to start doing that.
It's too early, but I think he's going to be a great catcher.
If he can put up 1 or 2 years like this, full seasons, then you could start talking about it.
Yes, and I think he will. 53 games, it's a small sample size. Once you give him a bigger sample size, he has more to choose from, more to do. Let's move on to the NL Cy Young. AL Cy Young, NL Cy Young. We'll just talk about Cy Young in general. The AL Cy Young, I don't know what happened this year with the race, but it's not even close.
There's just no true candidates there.
I mean, Corey Kluber, Marco Estrada was for a very, very long time.
I was actually going to go with him, to be honest.
But since the beginning of August, he has really struggled. I think his ERA is in the high 6s since the beginning of August.
Yes, and that's a problem. That's obviously a problem. Marco Estrada, his ERA was a 2.5.
And I think Toronto has themselves to blame for all this because they had a couple pitchers pitching well, Estrada, but the thing is, they went to a 6-man rotation, and it screwed everybody up because everybody had the extra day of rest. Nobody pitched as well as they were.
No,
and I mean
that's why a team like the New York Yankees could beat them.
Yeah, and I feel like Toronto might have worked themselves out of the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's getting close. It's getting close, and the Yankees are hot. And if they win out, listen, Boston may clinch that division. Boston may clinch that division.
They probably will.
But if the Yankees sweep Toronto, if the Yankees sweep Boston, we're going to start having to seriously talk about the Yankees being in the playoffs, even though there's only 5 games back.
There's not enough time.
When they were 4 games swept by the Red Sox last week, I think that was finally the...
Yeah, that might have been the death wish for them. Yeah, but I really do think there's still a chance. There's still a pulse on this team. Gary Sanchez, man, it's not over till it's over.
Well, going back to the other candidate of Michael Fulmer for Rookie of the Year, I think the Tigers are the team to take the wild card spot. I'm going to go with Tigers and Orioles for that one-game playoff.
I don't...
what do you mean? Because, so far right now, it's Toronto and Baltimore, so...
Well, Toronto's working themselves out. I mean, they're losing constantly now. I feel like they're going to lose their playoff. So you think
Detroit's going to take this
I think
spot?
Detroit will take the spot, and I think Detroit will win the game.
And you think... I don't know.
And then they could lose to the Red Sox in the playoffs.
Yeah, the Red Sox. Once the Red Sox get in the playoffs, they're a whole different animal.
And we got the whole last year for Ortiz thing going on. So
yeah,
I mean, this could be another World Series for the Red Sox, but that's not what we're talking about.
And we'll do NL Cy Young.
Well, AL Cy Young never gave my pick.
Oh, sorry.
And I want to go with Zach Britton because Zach Britton, he hasn't blown a save all year. 46 of them hasn't blown one. 0.56 ERA. Whip under 1. I mean,
that's really
the only thing about Zach Britton, though, Mariano Rivera never got to win a Cy Young Award, and he has put up amazing numbers, constant years, best closer in history. How could you give a Cy Young to a closer? I mean, Dennis Eckersley, yes, he got it years ago.
You want to look at Trevor Hoffman? What was his streak? What was it? 56 straight games with a save, without blowing an opportunity. And,
okay, but who's the closer for the Dodgers a couple years ago? He has Eric Gagne.
Eric
Gagne. He had a streak where he had 86 saves in a row, and he didn't get a Cy Young.
Yeah, and God bless him. He's fallen off a lot, Eric Gagne. But, it's just I can't see Britton winning.
Actually, Eric Gagne might have got a Cy Young.
Really?
I think I remember him getting 1 Cy Young.
But even if he did, steroids dampen that.
That's true.
A lot.
But Kluber, 18-9. 227 strikeouts. I mean, it's been a great year for him. He's won it before. This could be his second. And
plus, he's single-handedly led that team to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, but that whole rotation for the Indians has been great all year. I mean, a lot of guys have gone down with injury. Kluber's been healthy most of the year.
And Carlos Santana's been great for them in the lineup.
Well, you got to look at that infield. Jose Ramirez, Francisco Lindor. That's what led them here. I mean, those two, amazing.
Yeah, and obviously Mike Napoli doing the same stuff he's been doing for the past 5 years.
Where did Napoli come from? Why is he good again? I don't get
it.
I mean, let me ask. What has been the success for Cleveland ever since the start of the season? Even
it's probably been the biggest success. Has probably been their rotation. Their bullpen's good, very good, and Mike Napoli sort of smacked that team across the face and said, "Wake up, we're gonna win now." He brought his veteran spirit, and any team that makes him wear his uniform open down to the 3rd button, he starts hitting home runs with.
Well, I think the biggest thing for Cleveland actually has been, and no one talks about it anymore, is surviving the injury of their leader. I mean, Michael Brantley missed this season, basically. He played a good 10 games this year, and nobody even remembers how good he's been for them the last 2 years. He is the heart and soul of this franchise, and him going down, a guy like Tyler Naquin coming in, doing what he did in place of Brantley, that had a lot to do with where the Indians are in the standings right now.
And let's go to NL Cy Young.
NL MVP. Who we got for American League MVP, by the way?
Ortiz. Big Papi. I know, but it's Big Papi.
You got to go to his teammate, though. Mookie Betts.
I don't care about Mookie
I'm
Betts.
I'm also going for David Ortiz.
Mookie Betts' chance for... I don't care if it's Ortiz's last year. Mookie Betts, 30-30 club, 110 RBIs, 120 runs. I mean, you don't get seasons like this every year.
David Ortiz.
320 batting average.
David Ortiz set career highs in the, what was it, the RBI category.
I get that, but you got to look at the protection around David Ortiz.
I don't care
Mookie
about
Betts
protection.
has led off most of this year.
I don't care about protection. Look at Jason Hayward. You want to talk about protection? He's horrible.
Why are we comparing Ortiz to Jason
I don't
Hayward?
Care, because Jason Hayward was amazing 2 years ago, and he had no protection in that Atlanta
Jason
lineup.
Hayward has been someone who everyone wants to break out every single year. He never does. He's had a couple good years, but for the most part, his career has been a joke.
Are you forgetting about Atlanta, where he had no protection, and he batted the best? He was the best on that team. Freddie Freeman
was his
great
protection.
Freddie Freeman batted third. He batted
No.
first. Hayward led off.
No, Hayward batted third a lot of that season, and Freeman batted cleanup.
Okay, well, even if that's the case, he has, if you want to say protection.
And you had the
Okay.
Upton brothers still hitting back then. BJ never hit. Melvin, whatever you want to call him. But Justin was hitting.
Melvin is hitting now, but let's not talk about Melvin Upton. He's a weird case.
He needs to go back to BJ and be on Tampa.
Yeah, and obviously Justin needs to quit the MLB. He's been terrible for that Detroit team. He shouldn't even see grass again. But
Shout out to the 2008 Tampa Bay Rays. You'll never see that again.
yeah, God, Carl Crawford. That was a fun year.
What
Fun
happened to
team.
that guy actually?
Carl Crawford. I don't even.
I think
he's in the
Crawford retired
minors.
now.
No,
I mean,
he retired.
I think
He
so. Yeah.
was in the Dodgers organization for about 72 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he was gone in a heartbeat. But NL Cy Young. We did AL Cy Young. We did MVP.
NL MVP.
NL we'll do
We
do
gotta
MVP.
save the Cy Young, and you know why.
Okay. We're gonna go NL MVP.
And we're gonna fight over teammates again because I think Chris Bryant deserves it.
All right. Okay. I think Anthony Rizzo deserves it. Anthony Rizzo's a first baseman. First baseman hit. It's obvious now. It looks that way. First basemen are starting to be just a hitting position.
Yeah.
There's certain good fielders. Mark Teixeira is still there. You got the Gold Glove type fielders at first
But
base.
this is the thing with you, and I'm gonna sound like such a hypocrite in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Anthony Rizzo,
Yeah.
battling back from cancer. You like the story. That's why you want him to win MVP.
Okay.
David Ortiz, final year in the league. That's why you want him to win MVP.
Gary
Sanchez, the whole breaking the record for most home runs in 53 games. That's
Isn't
what
that-
you
isn't
like
that
stories.
But it's all fact.
Okay,
Yeah,
but it
it's all
doesn't
fact.
matter if it's someone's last year battling back from cancer. You got to look at the stats. And I can't believe I'm saying this when I'm about to say what I'm about to say in a couple of minutes, but
Okay.
that's a little
It's a little different. Okay, but Anthony Rizzo is the heart and soul of that Chicago team. I don't care about Chris Bryant. His
Chris
dugout
Bryant's gonna hit
personality.
40
He's
home
quiet.
runs.
Okay, he'll hit 40 home runs. I think Chris
300
Bryant's a
average,
great
40 home
player.
runs.
He's might as well be the best third baseman in baseball, Chris Bryant. But I think we're gonna have this argument for the next 5 years with these two players. It's
And
not
maybe
gonna
they
matter.
could trade off every year. I
They-
mean,
they
they
might.
are extremely talented.
They
This
might.
team
I
is
don't think
extremely
you're
talented.
wrong. I don't think you're wrong. I think Chris Bryant could win. But Anthony Rizzo, I think he's putting up extraordinary numbers too.
The thing is, though, if you're going to get a Cub MVP, Rizzo or Bryant, you don't also need a Cub Cy Young. And that's why John Lester, amazing, 18-4. Led my fantasy team this year. Just put that out there. Amazing year. Kyle Hendricks, that 2.10 ERA. You're not going to see numbers like that again. He has come out of nowhere, but the two of them could split votes. And that's why I think that it's only right to do as a tribute. He has the numbers. The NL Cy Young should go to Jose Fernandez this year.
It's okay. This is it's still sensitive. We're still fresh on this topic, but Kyle Hendricks deserves it. To be honest, to be fair, Jose Fernandez was somebody that was on my fantasy team. I've loved Jose Fernandez all the years he's been in the MLB.
He's my favorite player ever in all sports, so very hard for me.
Just let's not even talk about the Cy Young anymore. It's gonna go to Hendricks, but let's talk Jose Fernandez. It's been really, really difficult for
Not just only the Miami team, but all around baseball who's come to know him.
Yeah, we don't even need to talk. We don't even need to talk about his impact on baseball, his impact on the sport. But what we do need to talk about are the people who are saying, "Oh, it's just another young sports player that died." Just another young sports player that died. And it enrages me. It enrages me to think people are saying that. He's not just a sports player. He is a humanitarian. He spent his days on this earth as a Major League Baseball player fighting for people that want to defect from Cuba to come here. He saved his mother from drowning. He is an excellent human being. And I'm sure there are other human beings like that out there that are not baseball players. But Jose Fernandez was in the spotlight. He is an amazing person. And he's left an impact on the sport that will never die. He is immortal in the sense that he has brought happiness that sort of transcends the entire Miami Marlins organization and just goes to all of baseball. It goes to all of baseball, and I've. It's still foreign to me.
And everything I wanted to say, you just said it, if not better. I mean, something that I read that just comes out of me. I've been crying about this for days. It's my favorite player.
Yeah.
There's no one like Jose Fernandez, and something that comes to my mind right off the bat. An 8-year-old, when his father told him that Jose Fernandez died, he said, "How is this possible? He's a superhero, and superheroes don't die." And it's nothing closer from the truth. I mean, he's done so much in his life in the 24 years that he was alive. I mean, there's absolutely nobody like Jose Fernandez. He played the game like a 12-year-old. He had so much joy to him. He had the best personality you will ever see on the field. He made everything fun, and he's definitely going to be missed.
It's a tragedy. It's really, there's nothing to say about Jose Fernandez other than that he literally he was the best pitcher in the MLB. He was the best pitcher, and I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, people exaggerate things after somebody dies." Have you watched this kid pitch? He made a Miami Marlins stadium full most nights that he pitched. God could descend from heaven and that won't happen. Jose Fernandez brought people to a stadium that is empty 95% of the year.
And his message spread nationwide. It wasn't only in Miami. Like, everybody who ever got the chance to meet him, I met him a couple times. Anybody who ever got the chance to meet Jose Fernandez was touched. I mean, he's touched everybody he's ever met. He is absolutely a superhero, like I said.
Yeah.
And for me, in my broadcasting career, wherever my life takes me, I hope I have that same personality as Jose Fernandez did.
Yeah.
I hope I can live my life like he did, because that would make it a successful life.
He's brought happiness to people that'll never be lost, and watching what happened.
Tribute.
Yeah, this is nothing short of the biggest tragedy in baseball since Thurman Munson, since Roberto Clemente.
I was literally listening to that trumpet tribute to
Take Me Out to the Ball Game with the trumpets.
It was just unbelievable to see that this would happen in such a sudden amount of time.
Yeah,
And it was an amazing ceremony, but obviously we also have to talk about D. Gordon's home run.
Yeah.
D. Gordon, I mean, first home run
of
of the season, which makes it even crazier. Jose Fernandez's best friend outside of Marcell Ozuna on this team, and he comes up to the plate. He also came up to the plate wearing Jose Fernandez's batting hammer, batting right the first pitch. Maybe Bartolo grooved the ball to him, maybe he didn't. He probably did, but it doesn't matter. It's the most emotional moment we have seen in a very long time in the MLB.
And
I don't think we'll ever experience something like that in a
I-
very long time.
yeah, I don't think they'll anything. It's gonna be one of those moments. It's gonna be one of those moments that we look at in the future when we talk about the death of baseball, because that's what Jose Fernandez's death is. It's the death of a dying sport. Jose Fernandez put butts in seats, and can't do it anymore. He's gone. And
That's still extremely hard to accept and believe.
With that, with him being gone, it's a young kid, great player. Baseball's a waning sport. People don't want to watch it anymore. They complain it's too long. He made it short.
He did.
He made games fly by.
And it wasn't only the speed of the game. Even if the game, you could have a guy like Justin Verlander on the mound, 2.5-hour game. Jose Fernandez on the mound, 2.5-hour game. But with him on the mound, it always seemed shorter because of the energy he brought, because of the fun he brought to the game. And you do not see that from anybody anymore.
Waking up and seeing that on my phone, waking up and seeing that message on my phone, that's nothing short of any other tragedy that's happened in sports.
Coming straight from here, we are sending our special condolences to the Sanchez family and to the Miami and to the Fernandez family and the Miami organization.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I mean, I still remember my story, how I woke up that morning. I had so many updates on my phone, but I didn't read them because my friend actually called me, so I called him back, and he said I'm sorry for what happened because he knew this was my favorite player. This was someone I idolized. And I looked at my updates, and I just started crying right on the phone because,
It's. There's nothing to say. Being radio show hosts, what are we gonna? When something's speechless, we don't entertain you, so we're speechless. There's nothing really to say other than that this kid was an amazing person, and it's over. It's over. But thank you, Jose Fernandez, for the memories you've given us in such a short life. Thank you. Thank you to the Fernandez family. We're sorry about everything that's happened, but yeah. Jose Fernandez, you'll be missed.
Rest in peace.
Yeah,
Jose
rest in
Fernandez.
peace. Yeah,
Definitely.
so we'll. I think we're good with the show today.
That's definitely a way to go off the air.
But thanks again, Jose. If you're hearing me right now, the radio waves fly up to heaven. I'm gonna let you know when Giancarlo Stanton hit that home run and you started flipping out in the dugout. You made me laugh beyond belief. You smacking the dugout. You brought energy to baseball.
I'm sure you were smiling with me when Justin Boyd dove into third base in that game, and that was
Oh my
hilarious.
goodness, I remember that one.
And it's just Jose Fernandez. It's you may not be here in body, but you're certainly here in spirit, and your energy will always remain with this sport.
Song playing in the background right now. Show must go on, Queen.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no better song to describe it than what's going on here.
Yeah.
Everybody, as much of a tragedy this is, it's time to move on now. It's time to live our lives, and
that's
if
what
we
Jose
could
would
live them
want.
like-
I guess.
exactly, that's what Jose would want. Everybody said that. Everybody we've talked to has said that.
Yeah.
His teammates. I mean, if everybody can live with that same enthusiasm, passion as Jose Fernandez, then we have a really, really good life ahead of us.
Yep.
I mean, I would feel like that would be passed down to Giancarlo Stanton because, he would be the next leader of Miami. Because what he what he did with the team at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Just reciting that we are a team. We gotta pull this through. Even though this event happened, we still gotta work as a team.
He stepped up, and Giancarlo Stanton's a quiet guy, and
Yeah.
he saw that in the face of this tragedy that he needs to step up, and that's what Jose would want. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you guys so much for listening to the first episode of Sports Unfiltered
On the radio.
on the radio. On the radio. That sounds so bizarre.
Make
but,
sure to turn it again next week, as we
yeah.
will be back. Same time.
Same time
11
next
o'clock.
week. So tune in. We'll see you then.
Peace out from my own
All
college.
right. Thank
Peace
you
out.
everyone for watching.
See you later.